Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Power Rankings. I'm your Commissioner Nick, and it is week 11 on the schedule. Can you believe it? The season is flying by. We are very close to the trade deadline, very close to the end of the regular season here for fantasy. I've got a great show lined up for you this week. No guest this week, but we've got the playoff picture and the tank tracker with a new addition this week, so take a look out for that. And I got my weekly predictions as always. Without further ado, let's get into those rankings. Number 12. When Legends Rise. Frank lost a heartbreaker to Jerry in the final seconds of Sunday Night Football, making that 6 losses in a row since appearing on the rankings. David Montgomery hasn't enjoyed the same success as his fellow Bears teammates as he scored a measly 5 points. Amari Cooper's struggles on the road continued this week as he only mustered 6 points. Frank's playoff chances can officially be put to bed at this point. Frank can start working on the menu for next year's draft. Number 11. Beans Pride Parade. Beans' team lost again this week, falling to 2-8 on the season. Generic Henry had a very lackluster game, only producing 8.7 fantasy points. And Jerry Pooty put up a goose egg after leaving early with an ankle injury. On the bright side, Beans blessed us with pleasant news that the former champion GM will be back at the helm next week. Should be interesting to see what changes Beans makes. Number 10. What a waste of time and money. Brad's team lost to his younger, superior, better-looking brother this week as his miserable season continued. Tom Brady said Guten Tag as he put up 19 points in the first ever NFL game in Germany, but it wasn't enough as Allen Lazard and A.J. Dillon did nothing for the Green Bay Slackers as they only combined for 14 points. Now 3-7 on the year, this team's playoff chances are not looking good. At least Kentucky basketball is back. Oop, never mind. Number 9. Team Lance 2.0. Cam comes in at number 9 in the rankings as he's coming off a dreadful week for fantasy. Not only did Cam drop a huge game for playoff implications against Oliver, but he also put up the fewest points in the league, lost 6 out of his last 7, and lost his best player to injury. That's right, Cooper Kupp left the game early with an ankle injury and only scored 2 points. Not sure exactly how long he'll be out, but just like this team, Kupp's fantasy season appears over. Number 8. Not that team, pal. Whoa, baby. My team bounced back this week to defeat the lowly Brad and get back to 500 on the season. Ron Jones took the Cowboys defense all the way down to Principal Oshag Hennessy's office with a big 23-point performance. Meanwhile, Tony Hollard showed everyone who the real RB1 is in Dallas with another 20-point performance in Zeke's absence. My squad is heating up at the right time. Just gotta keep pace with the rest, and one of these scrubs will choke down the stretch. Mark my words. Number 7. Quantum Cheeseburger. Jerry's team drops 1 spot in the rankings this week with a weak victory over the last place When Legends Rise. The Jerry Dolphins had okay games, but the running back struggled mightily this week. Khalil Herbert got injured, meanwhile DeAndre Swift only got 8 points. Jerry needs Ramondre and Zeke back ASAP as he'll be Dolphinless this week against Harambe. 94% playoff chances, but anything can happen when we're talking about Jerry. Number 6. The process. Ryan went through a lot this week watching his stud wide receiver Justin What the Efferson go off against our beloved Buffalo Bills. In my opinion, a true Bills fan wouldn't even have started him against Buffalo knowing he would have put up 35 points against their banged up secondary. But that's besides the point. Ryan's loss to Dan drops in 2 spots in the rankings and makes him 6-4 on the season. Big game this week against the Commish. Can't lose this one. Number 5. Harambe's Olave Javante Deontay. Oliver's team moves up 2 spots after picking up a big win this week over Cam. James Conner finally had a big game, scoring 2 touchdowns and 23 points. Pat Mahomes performed like the QB1 he is, throwing 4 touchdowns. But this was the CeeDee Lamb game as he racked up 11 catches for 150 and 2 touchdowns. Harambe has been impressing, winning 3 out of his last 4 and making a strong case to keep his 8-year playoff streak intact. Number 4. King of the Higgins v3. Luke fell short against Borat this week and drops 1 spot in the rankings. Tight end Zach Ertz only scored 2 points as he left the game early with an injury. Raisin Brandon Cooks was very bland, scoring just 8 points. And you know what? I'm going to say it. Josh Allen sucked again. I personally think Josh needs glasses, but hopefully he'll quit turning it over and the Bills and Luke will both be on track. Number 3. Poppy's prized possession. Brophy's team moves up 2 spots as they cruise to victory over Beans this week to improve to 6-4 on the season. Christian Smirk made Poppy smile with his 2-touchdown performance in the flex. Other positives include Terry McLaurin excelling with Tyler Heineke at quarterback, and Dalton Schultz has put together back-to-back solid weeks at tight end and could be the 3rd best tight end option in fantasy right now. Playoff chances have skyrocketed the last few weeks. Things are getting very intriguing for Poppy down the stretch. Number 2. Kamish's daddy. Wah wah wee wah. Hunter's team won a huge game over his brother Luke, and the offense returned to elite form, leading the league with 170 points scored. Justin Field of Dreams went off yet again, putting up another 40 points against the Lions. Jonathan Yaylor looked refreshed under first-time head coach Jeff Saturday, as the Colts may not know what goes into sausage, but they know how to build a football team. This team once again looks like a juggernaut. And number 1, Team Never Lucky. The reigning, defending, undisputed number 1 team in bad company is Dan, as he picked up the victory over Ryan in the game of the week. Saquon Sparkley led the way with 150 yards and a touchdown, and Travis Kelce did Travis Kelce things as the last weapon still available in Kansas City. With a 2-game lead for the 1 seed, Dan could put it in cruise control until the playoffs. Now let's take a look at our playoff picture after week 10. Here we go. Team Never Lucky at 9-1 has the 1 seed. They would have the bye, and then we've got the process taking on Poppy's prized possession. Both teams are 6-4. King of the Higgins v3 at 5-5 taking on the 3 seed. That's right, the 3 seed Jerry's Quantum Cheeseburger. Then we've got the 7-2 matchup Kamish's daddy taking on Harambe's Olave Javante Deontay. And if you look at the bottom, there's a team coming up right on the edge there in the hunt. Not that team, pal. We're right back in it, just a half a game out, not even, just off a technicality. I should be in the playoffs though. And let's take a look at our tank tracker. We've got a new addition to the tank tracker. It's Cam this week, as you see everybody slid down with a loss this past week. He doesn't have much of a chance, but he's still thinking he does. And in full tank mode, we got Frank and Beans right now, both at 2 and 8. Let's move on to my commissioner picks now, where I was lucky enough to go 4-2 with my picks last week. So here are my predictions this week. We got What a Waste of Time and Money taking on King of the Higgins v3. I'm taking Luke here to pick up the win. In our next matchup, we've got Kamish's daddy taking on Team Lance 2.0. You know I'm taking Borat in this one. Wow, wow, wee, wow. Congrats, Hunter, on the marriage, by the way. In our next matchup, this is a big game for playoff implications. Not that team, pal, taking on the process. Both teams may not even end up in the playoffs. You never know. Crazier things have happened. Not that team, pal. I'm taking my guys to win this one. I think we're on a good roll right now. And Ryan's team, you know, they got no running backs. I've been saying it all year. Harambe's Olave Javante Deontay taking on Quantum Cheeseburger. Jerry's team has a 94% chance at making the playoffs. His Dolphins are on the bye, though. But you know what? I'm taking Quantum Cheeseburger. He's got Oliver's number through history. I think Jerry gets it done. He figures it out. And Oliver slides out of a playoff spot. And in our next matchup, could be game of the week here, Poppy's prized possession taking on Team Never Lucky, potential playoff matchup in the future. I'm taking Poppy's prized possession here because I got to tell you, I like the cut of his jib lately. Poppy has been rolling. And in the game of the week, we have an absolute banger this week, folks. It's the battle of the bottom feeders as Frank and Beans will do battle. Both teams enter tied for last at 2 and 8 with the crucial highest lottery odds in next year's draft at stake in this one. This is just the 4th matchup all time between these two as Frank holds a 2-1 edge over Beans coming into this one. Both teams have terrible receivers, but Beans actually has a respectable 1-2 punch at running back in Nick Chubb and Derrick Henry. And Nick Chubb playing in the snow in Buffalo this week, you know he's going to go off here. And for that reason, I am going to take Beans in this one in a low scoring matchup here. Take the under in this one, folks. Take Beans money line. That's your parlay. Put the house on it. I'm telling you right now. And that's all I got time for you. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Good luck with the snow this weekend. Stay warm out there. Have a good week.